Are you now sold on the Clippers as a championship contender after what you saw last night?
No,
Okay.
I am not. Look, Denver is a championship contender. Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia. The idea that maybe you throw Phoenix in there if they can get a little bit more healthy consistently. I am not throwing the Clippers in there, even if they played like they did last night.
No Lakers yet?
That being, not yet. But where I put the Clippers and where I put the Lakers right now is in that next tier. If they can continue, if the Clippers can continue like they did last night, they absolutely have a puncher's chance, which, by the way, is a higher ceiling than they had before the Harden trade. So I am sold on them having a shot, not being a contender in that top group. I am also sold on the fact that this was still the right move for the Clippers. If you look at what they had prior to this Harden trade, they had two aging stars who have shown they could not get over the hump by themselves.
Yep.
Both of those guys had contract outs coming this summer, and they have a $2 billion with a B dollar new arena they are moving into. They had to make this kind of move to see what they could do. And so far, they are 5-2 in their last 7 games. They are coming together. James Harden said last night, it's really just about knowing what he said, quote, what the hell I'm doing out there. Yeah. And he seems like he knew a little bit more of what to do. Ty Lue has been on him to be more aggressive the way he was in that first quarter last night. So I like the direction they're going. I'm not putting them up in that top group.
See, I do, though, Rachel, just based on last night, because they're heading in the right direction. I don't foresee them going back to when they first acquired James Harden, and we were all sitting there going, oh, man, 5 straight losses. I don't see that. You mentioned 5-2 in the last 7. This is what I tried to tell Skip yesterday with John Sally. 5-2 in the last 7. They went out there and James Harden cooked in the first quarter. But then when you look at some of the things that have hurt him in his career, the turnovers, they were down. He only had 2. You look at Westbrook, 1 turnover. Kawhi knocking down shots, playing aggressive. Paul George hitting crucial threes. Whenever Sacramento got close, all of a sudden, they separated themselves away from him. So when I look at that and I start to see, it wasn't ISO ball like everybody's been screaming.
It was not.
They played a certain way last night. And then when it needed to be ISO ball because my guy is better than yours, even though I've given you the rock, go ahead and do your thing. Now, all of a sudden, Kawhi Leonard wrap around, throw it to James Harden at the top. He knocks down the 3. Kawhi could have easily shot that ball for a layup, but he decided to just kick it back out. James Harden does his deal, boom, knocks down the 3. If you know how he spins it and then boom. If they continue down this road this way, they're going to be a tough out. You got veteran players that know how to play. And it feels like, to me, Westbrook is settling in this particular 6-man type role. Him and Harden was on the floor together last night an awful lot. I don't know what the minutes were. I just know that they were on the floor together, and it didn't lack any non-basketball type stuff. It was pretty good basketball when they were on the floor together. So I'm not ready to say they're not contenders, and I know. Boston, as you mentioned. Philadelphia, that waxed the Lakers the way that they did. Obviously, Denver's in the mix. I get all of that. But you can't tell me you were not encouraged about what the Clippers were able to do last night against the Kings.
So last night, Clippers come into that game having passed the ball the fewest times of anybody in the NBA. But last night, I saw ball movement. I saw it from the first quarter on. Yet, I sat back watching James Harden do James Harden things like Harden Houston things, and I thought, is he becoming the Clippers' AD? Because I don't know what to expect from him from night to night. He can be in it or way out of it from night to night, but he was that way with Philadelphia in the playoffs last year. He could go 45, he could go 42, and he could just completely disappear. So he appeared last night. I think he smelled blood because it was clear that the Kings were going to have tired legs after their 24-point comeback. And here they went. And he was sensational in the first quarter, also stealing the ball. I don't have my stats. Didn't he steal it 5 times?
Yeah, 5 steals. 26 points, 6 assists, 5 steals. Best outing as a Clipper.
5 steals? Are you kidding me? But for this team, for you to be right about what you're saying, Keyshawn, it still comes down to one man and one man only, and it's that man who made 8 of 9 shots in the second half, and that is Kawhi Leonard, whose knees are the best they've been since his Toronto run to the championship. He works so hard in the offseason. I know he doesn't post about it. He doesn't brag about it. He doesn't say he spends $2 million on his body. He just works his tail off. He works his tail. You ever see him post anything? I don't think he's even on social media.
He doesn't talk.
I know a lot of people close to him, and they say nobody works harder that they know of than this man does. And he got his knees, both of them, as right as he could get them. And so far, I'm knocking on wood for him, so good. Because in the second half last night, he was extraordinary, because so was De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox scored 25 in the second half, 40 for the game. And every time he made some big shot and the home crowd tried to get back into it, Kawhi said, no, I got this. Boom. That mid-range is as deadly as any shot this side of KD, obviously. But when Kawhi is right, they are really right. Look, and Rachel, you first guessed this. James is running the point. He's running the show. He's orchestrating at a very high level. And Russ, so far, seems happy enough coming off the bench.
He's happy.
Look, he's playing great defense, and this is not a position he's comfortable with. And the defense, as we talk about all the time, it is an 80% effort, and the fact that he's putting forth that effort means so much into, trying to glean his mindset. You are 100% correct, Skip. Kawhi Leonard is the whole ball of wax, right? So if he's out during a chunk of the playoffs, if he's not healthy, if something's not right with him, this whole discussion is a moot point. But, however, if James Harden coming in can help them win a few more games, if there is a period, this is the oldest team in the league. If there is a period where one of their other stars is out for a chunk of time, which will happen at some point, James Harden will help get them through those points. The real key for the Clippers to me right now is not how quickly they can get their act together in terms of games like last night's. It's, are they going to get too far behind in the Western Conference? Because if in the first round of the playoffs, they are a number 7 seed and they are playing a number 2 seed, they could end up, again, as I said, going into this summer with 2 guys who can opt out of their contracts. Harden, by the way, also is going to be a free agent at the end of this season, and a $2 billion building that they cannot open with no names on the marquee.
I can't stand the Clippers at all. Don't like them. I'm an L.A. Laker guy. But if I told you, Rachel and Skip, that James Harden joined this team, and when he joined them, they're at 5-2 in 7 games, we wouldn't be looking at it the same way. We would be like, oh, 5-2 in 7 games, man, he's really helped them. But because they got off to a slow start when he came, there's this negative connotation that's still floating around his arrival with the Clippers.
But
get rid of that.
Be real about this.
Get rid of that.
To Skip's point, though, he has only shot over 43% in 2 of the games since he's been at the Clippers. He's inconsistent
it's an adjustment period.
Exactly, I agree.
They lost the fourth quarter to Denver 36-16.
Doesn't matter.
And he turned it over twice.
It's an adjustment period.
I agree. It's just how long can they take to adjust?
All right, up next, Micah complains about lack of holding calls. What? Why don't the refs give him any respect?
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.